How do, folks? How you doing? Just a quick one. Right, let's chat about false flags today, shall we? Now, I think we saw in 9/11 that there are no limits to what these parasites will fucking stop at. Absolutely none. They care not one bit for lives. But lives aside, it isn't about the lives. They care not if anybody lives or dies, but they care not if anybody dies at all, as long as the agenda is moving forward. Now we've seen it with 7/7 and Boston bombings and Sandy Hooks and all these sort of things. You see these false flags. To start off with, they're absolutely disgusting, and you can't believe this has happened, and everybody jumps on the bandwagon, as you would, because that's what they're designed to do. But pretty soon after, the symbolic or the demonic symbolic, the satanic symbols start showing through. The dates are significant, the people are significant, and it starts to show through. Now, in my mind, there are two sorts of folk who stay on the bandwagon. You know, once it's actually been shown and proven, excuse me a second, so as soon as it's been shown and proven and it's all out there, it should end it. There should be no more memes, there should nobody else making videos talking about how disgusting it is. So what sort of guy continues after it's been shown to be bullshit? Shills mainly, the shill groups, they push it obviously. These coined phrases like Black Lives Matter, they're a George Soros fucking organisation, and unfortunately they kick on to exactly what they want. They want everybody in uproar, they want everybody's opinions and minds to be altered and swayed to certain things. But Black Lives Matter was an absolute agenda. A bullshit agenda that got everybody on a fucking bandwagon that said nobody else mattered. Of course Black Lives Matter, just the same as fucking White Lives Matter and fucking every other fucking life matters. So why do you want to single one out as if to say the others don't? You see, this Black Lives Matter went on for quite a while, but where has it got everybody? Everybody's still screaming racism. So it clearly wasn't anything to do with ending racism, was it? It was to perpetuate racism, and it has, and it does, and it still does. I mean, when I hear the word Black Lives Matter, I fucking cringe, because I know it's a fucking agenda. I don't think anybody in particular's life doesn't matter, and that's the way you're created to believe. If you don't go with their agenda, there's something wrong with you. You don't care, so you're a cunt. This is how they work these things out. If you're not, and it's just the same with this, with COVID. If you don't get on the bandwagon, you don't care about others. You hate others. You're putting others' lives in danger because you're not stupid enough to fall for a false flag. But more so, this latest one, where the guy gets knelt on and supposedly dies in Minneapolis, America. Now, it's been clearly shown. I watched a video yesterday that absolutely points out and shows and proves it got videoed twice. The guy's in a different place, a different position, at least a foot out of place. Now, you can't fucking say when you watch a video in its entirety and then you watch another video in its entirety and they're in different places, you can't say, oh, it might have just moved. No, come on. It was fishy from the start. It stunk to high heaven from the start. Now, I don't think I'm here convincing anybody, because I think it's absolutely plain for everybody to see. So I'm not trying to get anybody who thinks it was real to think it wasn't, because I don't believe anybody can actually think it was real anymore. So it makes me wonder about those that are continuing with it. What does that mean about those that are going to continue to push it? As I said, they're a shill, or there's one other side. They're just of the notion that as long as we're kicking off, that's what matters. Well, if we kick off in the manner that is prescribed to us and created for us, then you got to start asking yourself, what the fuck exactly you're doing? Because you're doing exactly what they want you to do, and you're going to mask it as you're fighting them. If you're doing exactly what they want you to do, which is kick off, they want these kick-offs, you're helping them, you're not fighting them. And you're not going to be fighting them by continuing to help them. What's going on? Why are folks still going on with this false flag? Why are folks still talking? Sorry about moving my head backwards and forwards, I'm trying to get out of a junction. But why are folks trying to still keep this going? There's plenty of reason to kick off. And I would say the very fact that they do false flags is a good enough reason to kick off. The very fact that this is a false flag is a good enough reason to kick off. You don't go with it to kick off because that's fighting the system if the system want you to kick off about that. It's all division. You notice the mixed race the police are. You've got Asian, you've got black and you've got white. Yet this is a racist thing. People are stupid. But I don't believe people are still falling for this. I'm struggling to believe people are still falling for this because it's outed. It's been outed. How can you fall for this if you look at it and you see it's been outed? How can you then go on to say it's disgusting that they just killed a guy? It's been outed. They filmed it twice. So anybody says, oh yeah, but he is dead, he did die and it was symbolic and maybe a ritualistic killing, they filmed it twice. Did he die on the first one or the second one? Come on. Come on, folks. The crisis fucking actors. You see them again and again and again on all the false flags, again and again, and you'll see that one that died, you'll see him in 6 months' time on another fucking false flag, because that's what they do. And people forget this shit, and they don't care about this shit. 9/11, folks. If you think they wouldn't do it, 9/11, 7/7, Boston bombings, shootings at schools, children getting killed in schools, people getting stabbed in the street, knife crime, false flags, folks, all with a clear agenda. I mean, half of this country is fucking wrapped up with knife crime. I know it's not talked about so much now because they've got COVID and new false flags to talk about. But I was sat there shaking my head while fucking people are perpetuating knife crime. It was an agenda to remove weaponous knives off people. Just an agenda. To cause trouble, to take folks, to arrest folks, to throw people in prison, to get fines. Just exactly what they do. Excuse me for the COVID cough. What can I say? Why are people still falling for this shit? Why are people still falling for any of this shit? Now, my initial reaction when I saw that guy getting knelt on and supposedly dying wasn't, that's disgusting, the police. It was like, cautious, is this a false flag? Let's wait a minute, let's step back. That's my initial thoughts on everything now, because the more fucking severe it is and the more disgusting it is, the more likely it is to be a fucking false flag in this day and age. So I just don't get it. I don't get what people are thinking. I don't get why they're perpetuating it and why they're pretending to still believe this shit. It's shit. They are pretending to keep it up. It's not really happening. And it's just a show. And it's for their agenda. You kicking off and you being disgusted about it is their agenda. That's what they want. That's what they want from this. So, what are you doing? Those that are perpetuating it. Why perpetuate something once it becomes clear that there's fuckery involved? Because then you're working for the man. You're not working against the system. You're not working against the tyranny. You're working for the tyranny if you're pushing the tyranny. Any agenda that they create and you perpetuate, you've got to see what you're doing. And I am talking to some particulars out there who I do consider good friends. But you know, you must know, you can see it. Anyway, it is a little bit worrying. I mean, there's the big groups, obviously, you know they're going to do it because they're shills. You get a few 100,000 viewers, followers or whatever, and absolutely, they're created groups. They burst out with 100,000 viewers or 100,000 bloody members. That's how they start out. And that's why they get perpetuated and shared around everybody and get pushed by the algorithms so everybody sees them. And some folks maybe are just pushing towards getting the channels noticed more, because they know if they perpetuate that stuff, it'll be pushed more. But imagine what you're doing to the cause by perpetuating this stuff. There is so much division, and I don't think we can heal the division. But this gap is getting wider, and more folks are dividing. We're not getting closer at all. We're dividing. It don't make sense. Very strange. Very strange indeed. But anyway, I'll leave you to it. False flags, eh? If that's your thing. Kind of makes me worry though. Not only that false flags are going on, I mean they're going to keep going on. The next one will be coming soon. We'll have one here soon, I'm sure. But the worst thing is the fact that folks who can see what's going on, who should be woken to this shit, who should be straight away going, hang on a minute, are jumping up and down with it. And still creating videos on it and shouting it and following it and dragging it on. And false flags, folks. Come on. If you're falling for a false flag, you're doing exactly what they wanted you to do. Exactly. And there's some folks out there at the minute that absolutely won't listen to that or look at that at all. Maybe that's it in the cognitive dissonance. It is really, really sad, because there's some good folks who are not listening to the fact that they're falling for stuff that's perpetuating, and they won't even look at the possibility because they're so wrapped up in the love of what's going on. But it is a fact. Honestly, it is a fact. They're playing you. They're playing you like fiddles. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it at that. It's a sad day when folks do shit like that, and you're watching pure theatre being taken at face value by everybody. It guts the hell out of me. It just shows me that we have no fucking chance whatsoever. No chance whatsoever. How do we survive it? How do we succeed it when everybody will turn your back on you in an instant, or everybody will flip-flop to the next fucking mainstream narrative? It's a sad day. So anyway folks, enjoy your day, and I hope you have an happier one than me. Ta-da.